thought I'd try something a little different. Not in this episode, or probably the next one or two, but I finish up Korthos and then get the Storm Rage, I'm going to be changing what I was planning on doing. Initially, my plan was more or less to just go straight through the game, but that's kind of boring. So instead, after I finish this, I'm going to instead record adventure packs. Various groups of adventures that I want to highlight. First up is going to be the recently released Temple of Elemental Evil, which, if you're a fan of Dungeons & Dragons, that has some connotations. Besides the PC game of the same name, which was really the only isometric turn-based game I've ever actually enjoyed. Not that I haven't really tried it. I've tried a lot of them. To put it simply. But that's mostly going to be it. It's just going to be me starting adventure chains, finishing them up. I'm going to be using the level 9 Paladin as my character creation video because, well, that's easier. The character's around the right level area. It's the only character I won't need to spend a good few days leveling up to get to that point. And it lets me jump right in because he's standing right in front of the chain giver. However, I'm still going to explain all the stuff I intended to, including Favor, which I'm not going to stop recording at this point until I actually get to that. It's going to be a good few hours on my end. Most because the last quest of Korthos takes about an hour, if you're lucky. So let's just go on and get this done and over with. First I need to spend some enhancement points though. Well, let's get that done. And with any luck, I'll be able to figure out how to get the sound of my laptop fan out of the video. I hope. I said it before, but I'm using Windows Movie Maker, and it's not exactly a good video editing tool. Unfortunately, I'm unemployed, so I can't really buy much else. But, well, here's hoping the escapists accept the pitch I wrote. Shouldn't take too long. I'm really used to having Featherfall.
Steam billows from the hidden engines underground. The air grows damp and fetid as the ancient tunnel descends.
This quest will also let me explain something near the end. Mostly why I choose to run the difficulties I do. This is actually something I didn't know. I found this out on a character I just recently started. And it doesn't look like I can get the doors, even with the boost to search from spot. Oh well. Doesn't really change all that much. And the reason I'm hitting this, there are traps over here, which I can't do anything about, but there are monsters here, which I can. Meh.
The sound of distant snoring warns you that you are not alone here. If you're careful, you may be able to take the by surprise.
In case anyone's wondering, I'm not going to be talking very much, mostly because of the aforementioned laptop fan, which seems to be kind of quiet right now, but I've got headphones on, so I can't really tell. Until I get a decent PC, or I can figure out how the hell to edit that out of the videos. If you have any ideas, please leave a comment. And seriously, please. It's kind of shitty right now. But until I manage to get that out of videos somehow, it's mostly going to be a let's just play instead of a let's talk. And since it's on my mind, and it's still fairly early in the video, if you haven't heard, Game Trailers closed down. If I watch Game Trailers, that'd probably be really sad, but actually, so am I going to get this to... No. Now there goes something else I actually enjoyed on this quest. There's a way to get through that, but since I don't have a high enough search to actually do anything about it, kind of fucked. Ow. In case anyone's wondering, the reason I'm the reason I'm looking at this is because I need to figure out where I can put 2 more points, but unfortunately all of them are either based on fighting undead, which I'm probably not going to be doing, since, to be honest, I'm probably going to be abandoning this character once I finish with doing what I'm doing now, or completely pointless because I don't have the ability yet and I won't for several levels, or it's an active ability that I honestly don't give a shit about. I mean, yeah, Plenty the hit's pretty decent at early levels, but I mean, my main fighter that I honestly haven't really been playing much, if he's standing still, he's got somewhere around a plus 50 to hit. The plus 8 isn't really going to be doing all that much. I mean, it's still a massive boost, but it's not worth 3 of the 80 total enhancement points, considering some of the other stuff. You see, that's much more useful. That's much more useful. That's only useful once I get that. That's much more useful. That's much more useful. I need to take Tower Shield Proficiency, but they have fairly low maximum dexterity bonuses, so adding 3 to it is actually pretty good. That's useful. That's extremely useful. That's not really all that useful, but that only requires level 4. That's physically impossible. By the time you get level 4, you've only gotten 12 points. You can't spend that many. Well, okay, I guess technically you can, if you multi-class, but at least it's consistent? Oh yeah, these are more useful. That's kind of useful. Less for the plus 6 bonus, but more for the you don't automatically fail. Well, to be fair, this game does use the rule of if you have like a plus 40 to something, you can't botch. It just doesn't happen. I mean, it's possible to say hit on a 1. Possible to save on a 1. I've confirmed criticals on a 1 if I had you've got a high enough bonus to confirm crits, which is actually a separate thing. But yeah, okay. Less talking, more swimming.
You spot a rusty hatch submerged in the putrid water. You emerge from the murky water with great relief. The air
Holy crap, I got it. Okay, I guess I do get to explain. I guess I do get to show you everyone this. The importance of this will be explained in a minute, because these are the only shrines in this quest. They'll be important. I'll show you why they're important in a minute.
The temperature plunges as you ford ahead. The giant's device must be near.
I will point out these become kind of irrelevant soon, but for 5 minutes on a level 1 item. Okay!
Ahead is the giant. The bruising mists it is spewing are directed the wrong way. With the right timing, you can get close enough to it.
Okay, explaining some of the difficulties. I usually run stuff on normal if I'm playing by myself. The main reason? Traps. See, I managed to dodge them, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I completely dodged traps. On normal, I honestly have no idea how much damage they do on casual. I never ran a casual quest. And I can't think of any solo quests that actually have them. But, based on the difficulty, they do increasing damage. On Elite, they're basically fatal if you don't have evasion and you make your reflex save. So unless I'm playing a rogue that I basically completely munchkined out, there's basically no way in hell I'm going to be playing on Elite if I'm soloing. In case anyone's wondering, yeah, this puzzle isn't exactly complex. Yay, I've stopped an Eldritch Horror from appearing. Apparently. I know they never really say what it is. To be honest, I'm pretty sure the Nightcrawler I fought yesterday could eat it for breakfast, so... Remember, an Eldritch Horror at level 1 is an average monster at level 10. And an Eldritch Horror at level 10... It really depends on what class you're playing. Because the Artificer I had that was basically built when I had absolutely no fucking idea what I was doing. I was basically able to take down Beholders in one of the hardest quests I've ever played, with a melee character, with basically no effort. It was honestly kind of silly. And honestly, I'm not as proud of it as I was, mostly because I've done harder stuff by myself. I'm not really the kind of person who should be playing MMOs. I'm very much a solo person. I mean, I'll group up if I need to, or if I'm going to... if someone wants to do something I want to do, and it's going to be difficult to do it myself. But, for the most part, I'm basically just gonna... I don't want to rely on anyone else. Part of the reason why I started this Paladin, because it's the only class that has decent combat abilities that can also heal a bit. because clerics are basically pointless in fights. In fact, there's the sort of derogatory term battle cleric for people who, instead of, making their clerics into heal bots, common term for basically just a healing character, basically, Holy Trinity, the healer, character who only heals, and is good for basically nothing else. Basically, those people are kind of assholes. Do I have? I do! The rare method. That makes me happy. Mostly for the experience. Because, well, this isn't exactly a good item. Yeah, it's a +1 deflection bonus, but... Oh no, oh yay, my AC went from 22 to 23. Oh joy, that's such a boost. One of the benefits of me doing this particular area of the game, I've got this stuff memorized. Which, when I get to Faber, I'll explain that. Because that's actually really in-depth discussion. Actually, I might just make that a video itself. Because Faber is somewhat complex. I can explain it now, but there's a useful tool I'll be getting once I hit Stormreach that will explain why I enjoy this game so much, since it's a major part of why I kept playing it, even though you basically need to buy 85% of the damn game. Or you can subscribe and get the entire thing. Plus a lot of fucking benefits that are really useful, that I actually have most of already. Writing something down. I had a thought I want to look at. With any luck, it'll be fairly obvious when what I wrote down, if it actually pans out. I doubt it will, to be honest. And look who it is, the douche.
Axel hand stands before you, not alive, but not quite dead. He cackles as he swears vengeance upon you. Drexelhand spits a curse and swears to return again before collapsing in a heap of bones. You take the cell key from his remains.
As far as I know, that's his last appearance. There are quests I haven't done yet, so who knows, I might pop up outside of Korthos. Oh, and if anyone's wondering about the chest, gotta have someone who can pick locks. Sort of annoying, but Also, until yesterday, there was a loot boost going on, so you would have seen really weird drops. That is currently no longer in effect, so it's just the standard shit, as opposed to slightly higher quality shit. Normally these areas despawn and reset themselves after 5 minutes, but I spent so little time in that quest it didn't have a chance to do so. That's extremely rare.
The rumbling falls converge into a small body of water.
The last two quests and the quest I'm heading to now are basically kind of pointless. I don't actually need to do any of them. I do them anyway because, well, they're there. I need the experience. You can occasionally find a decent item in them, and well, for stuff like this, I'm rescuing people who are getting ready to be brainwashed. Granted, it's all completely pointless because they'll be re-kidnapped the minute I take the quest again, but well, they're permanently freed if I never do the quest again. If I thought I needed explaining, this would be a good quest to explain optional objectives, but well, let's be honest, it's right there in the name. I don't have to do them. They give you experience, occasional loot, but aren't actually required to finish the quest. Usually try to do them all. You know, free stuff, XP. Everything a good RPG character needs to grow up, be a strong character. And no, very rarely on normal there's an option. There's a rare named the Sahagin that actually spawns there. Apparently, I decided not to. And the main reason I wanted to play an Artificer is because there's a bunch of stuff you miss if you can't pick locks. There's a door down there. It's locked. I can't get into it. There's a chest down there. I really wish I could get it, because it'd be loot. Be either money or a new weapon. Probably money. Now here comes the fun part. Platforming. See, I got a chest, 108 experience. I got a kukri. That's completely pointless because I don't use them. The tennis sledge is completely useless because it only lasts for a second. perfect spot for an ambush, eh? Oh, look, an ambush. What a surprise. In case anyone's wondering, yes, I'm extremely bored by this because I've done this 3,000 times. I'm doing it because it finishes out the storyline. And it'd be kind of weird if I was in the middle of Korthos just like, hey, here's this new stuff. Figured I'd at least put an end to what I started. Then explain why I started doing what I'm going to be doing. Granted, it's not like anyone really watches these in any appreciable amount. Yeah, aside from that one guy in Argentina I mentioned, I think it was Argentina, that basically watched my first video of this almost all the way through. No one really seems to give a shit about this. Oh. This is the first time I've seen her here in a long while. She's actually the main reason I'm here, but I'm going to let her sit there for a minute while I go hunt down another optional and get another chest. I'll also try to get my hand to be unnumb.
Evil cult leader will spill innocent blood no more.
That's actually a useful weapon. It's like that directly deals damage. It's like you roll 20. They basically take a -4 penalty on everything. And they take 1d6 damage over 2 seconds. Over 12 seconds. And if you roll another 20, it adds another 12 seconds. The fighter level 5 can go fuck itself, but that's actually a pretty decent effect. I just realized I left 3 people behind. Well, good day. Do that after I rescue the main person, because thankfully, completing optionals before or after the quest is finished doesn't really matter. You still get the experience and whatever loot you would normally get. Where in the hell did those two come from?
The last imprisoned villager grasps your outstretched hand, rising and running for freedom. The Devourer will not feast on the innocent tonight. Not on your watch. This entrance leads down into an ancient Cannith aqueduct.
If this occurred to me, I could write a script and actually plan out like what I'm going to say, or just plan out the episode and record the audio over it. But to be honest, it requires a lot of forethought and a lot more work than... To be honest, I'm not making any money from this. I have essentially no incentive to put in a lot more work than what I'm doing now. Which, to be honest, this is a lot more work than I'm comfortable with. Anyway, partially because this root wrecks my hand. Because I'm, like right now, I'm holding down W, usually pushing, occasionally pushing D to shift my movement, hitting F to swing my sword, and holding Z to talk. Yeah. And I'm basically getting nothing from this. Good for that. This is actually one of the harder quests, because it's one of the first escort quests. It's also really fucking annoying if you're not someone with a healing ability. Oh yay, an 8% bonus to like 540 experience. Oh yay, I feel so happy. I'm getting such a big boost to such a large amount of experience. I still wish I could get that much of a boost all the time.
A magical barrier humming with compressed energy.
That door over there, this one, I can get through that, but it leads to nothing because I'm not a rogue or an artificer. I can't pick locks, so there's no point in going through it because all that's there is a locked door with another couple of iron defenders and a chest. I did mention it was behind a locked door, right?
hear a definite alteration pitch of the hiss as the gas struggles to flow around the destruction. Without the alchemical jets coating the Canith power crystals, you can never destroy them. As the crystal shatters, the hum of power slowly fades into a heavy silence.
I will say, however, this is the problem with running stuff you're familiar with. If you're overly familiar with it, you're just bored. Because you've done it thousands of times. You know what's going to happen. You know all the moves. You know all the shit-headed NPCs that are just going to get themselves killed if you're not there. Even though I think this is my fault. And it just becomes a chore.
Have followed you in and
And you find yourself wishing you'd taken another use of Lay on Hands as an enhancement, because that would actually be useful. Because for some reason the guy you're fucking protecting seems to want to get in melee combat instead of hiding. At the very least in the frickin' High Road quest, the guy's got a fucking defensive shield that makes him nearly invincible. You're just there to make sure everything dies.
Coming! I won't die that easily.
On a funny note, Amalgam never dies. He'll stay at 1 HP if he actually takes enough damage to be there. Doesn't lose a single HP after that. So he's just here to slap them with the flat of his axe. Yeah.
It'll take more than that to put me down, Swahagan. We might actually get through this. Just hold for a little longer.
Oh, good. We beat off this Hagen.
Perhaps you should talk to him again.
See, that's a good weapon.
Go now. Tell Ursa to hold the barricade just a little longer. Then meet Amalgam at the base of Misery's Peak when you're ready.
With Hayton finally persuaded to help, the people of Korthos might finally win their struggle. A mangled sewer grate leads to an old abandoned Canith manufactory.
One of the benefits of doing this quest last is I'm in a pretty good position to get back to town without having to do a whole bunch of arbitrary bullshit. Which, if there wasn't a phrase that didn't describe this game, it's arbitrary bullshit. I must have been thinking I'd be better as a streamer than I am as a Let's Player. I mean, a streamer, I can basically get away with stammering and, you know, just making it obvious this is not scripted, because if you're scripting a stream, you're putting in way too much work. This is also, on another note, this is also a reason I went this way. So I can find this guy. Anyway, not sure if I mentioned it, but Game Trailers is gone. If you're a fan, I wasn't. The only thing Game Trailers I have any interest in is Honest Game Trailers, which if you're not watching that, you really should be. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yes, that's good for them. I don't really give a shit. You know, essentially, I am here to save these people, but I just can't really muster up the enthusiasm. They're a bunch of fucking idiots. Alright. Now, this is what I meant when I said that those boots would be fairly pointless. This has 2 charges. A +3 competence bonus to jump, and is part of a set that gives you a hit bonus. Destroy. Saber's Cake. Okay, I'm actually going to equip that because that's actually a better weapon. At least it's a long sword. I still say the tendon slice is a complete waste of a fucking of a suffix, but well, beggars can't be choosers, and well, I got nothing. I have potions of haste. When in the hell did I get those? Yeah. Anyway, something I'm actually annoyed about. Rift. One of the MMOs I'm actually a big fan of. To quote Edward Joe, they done fucked it up. They're changing patron. Changing patron benefits. To match the older public. In a way. Rested Experience is no longer free to play. You must subscribe in order to be able to accumulate Rested Experience. Some of the content. Dungeons, Warfronts, I think even a raid or 2. I don't really remember what. There's a third one, I don't remember what it was. Subscriber only. I think I might actually mention that to somebody. But anyway. Yeah, they're saying if you're free to play, fuck you. Although I'm not sure why it surprised me they do that. It's not like Arcade, just anywhere decent to free to play players. Yeah, basically, fuck Treon. I mean, DDO does something similar where you have to buy adventure packs. And, well, there's a lot of them. Let's just look at the low-level ones for now. Let's see, Devil Assault. It's got a Horde mode dungeon and a raid. The first raid. Oh, actually, that does nothing to that. Interesting. So that's a quest and a raid for 350 points. Stardust Isle, pointless. Chanticleer, kind of pointless. Necropolis, expensive. Delara's Tomb, required. Charm Syndicate, useful. Catacombs. Okay if you want ghost touch items, but otherwise skip it. Flying Carnival, pretty good. Three Barrel Cove, was kind of crap, but they updated it, so it's good now. And Tangle Route, which I haven't done for a long time. So I don't think they've changed it much. No. And that's what? That's 8? 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I was closer to 12. 10. That's 10 adventure packs just between levels 3 and 8. That shit gets expensive if you're not subscribing. But as we'll find out, maybe expensive, but you don't have to buy a thing if you're good enough. By which I mean if you're willing to throw your head against a rock enough times to actually earn it. Anyway, to sum up the entire plot of Korthos, the dragon that destroyed my ship, not left me on the beach, and basically required me to get re-equipped, is being controlled by a mind flayer who's having his mind, it's you know, even if it was human, I really shouldn't have defaulted to a male pronoun, but since I don't think mind flayers have gender at all, is having its mind control abilities boosted by a mind center artifact, which this is not the first time you see one of them in the game, but that's how it's mind controlling a dragon. It's got a mind control version of Viagra. My goal? Not die and destroy it. Because the dragon, which again, it's not the first time, it's not the last time you see that dragon, comes back much later. My goal is to, this is where a script would come in handy, but I didn't know I was going to be doing this until about 10 seconds before I actually launched the game, so. Anyway, my goal, destroy the artifact. Thankfully, for this quest at least, the developers listened to Spoonie and did not stat either of them. They cannot be targeted, because there's no way in hell, say the player base was fairly large, and you had, say, a full party of level 3s, which is about the highest level you can really reasonably run this quest with normal. There's no way in hell 6 level 3s are going to be able to take on a CR21 dragon. Actually, I believe it might be CR27, so I think that's what level a dragon is. Or a mind flayer. The earliest of which I believe is in the level 10 quest Invaders, which was the quest I was referencing earlier with my Artificer being able to solo it and take out Berserkers by himself. It's kind of good. I'm not entirely certain if Warforged have genders either, but I'm pretty sure they at least have the concept of gender. So I guess that can kind of be justified in calling it he, since while it is my character, the concept of gender does exist for it, even though it is technically a machine. Organic machine, it's complicated. I'm gonna stop talking now. It's just gonna get worse from here, so let's talk even more killing. We'll save this for the inevitable switch to the account I actually give a shit about. The paladin I have is set up similar to this. Heavy armor, big shield, longsword. If only because I couldn't justify making a two-handed paladin with a warforged. I might probably get away with that now because I can make a blade forged, but that shall be explained later. Or if you really want, you can just go look up the DDO store page on Steam and figure it out, because it's right there. Anyway, name Spider. And I just want to point out something. That optional objective was worth 497 experience. That's about half as much I was making, half of the experience I was getting from those quests. Usually, yeah, right now I'm getting a base of 2,000 experience from this. Lucky me. And I need about 3,300 to level. Alright. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be smooth because I know what I'm doing this time. I've done this like 3 or 4 times in the past few weeks. So, the first time I did this in that chain, I think I spent an hour in this area because I completely forgotten what the hell to do. Last time was only a few days ago when I was making a ranger. Yeah, by the way, I deleted that robe in the character creation video. I honestly didn't give half a shit. Just considering my artificer, when he will be able to become a rogue. I'll just leave it at that. That's something for another video. So, yeah, back to the Smashy. I will say this is why I grabbed the Featherfall cloak out of those. I'm fairly high up, and jumping off would be suicide. So, having a Featherfall effect negates that. Okay, this is always the part that annoyed me. So I'm trying to figure out which one I'm supposed to go. I think that was the one I got the rare in. I could be wrong, but we'll find out when I hit this one. Ugh. Yeah, okay. I'm on the right path.
Second signal crystal activated. You hear the stone door at the base of the cavern rolling open.
Huzzah! I can almost feel my eyes glazing over as the incredible dullness of this appears. And hey, there's a dragon. And yeah, those three are basically saying, Oi, boy, shithead, attack us. It's kind of funny, really. Their goal is to distract the dragon, and thereby distract the Mind Flayer, from me popping around and, for some reason, getting the big job, even though I'm a level 2 paladin, and they're a group consisting of a level 9 cleric, a level 9 rogue, and a level 9 sorcerer. Yeah, let's let the guy who barely knows which end of the sword is which handle destroying the artifact that's causing the entire island to freeze over. Instead of, say, the experienced adventurer party, who, let's be honest, would be immediately crushed by that dragon. Tandem and the Con Bravo crowd of 2012, they are not. Alright, this is the last switch room. Or not. I'll be getting there eventually. A bit too long for my taste. But yeah, hopefully the next episode will have me in a much better mood. Because I get to sound like I actually know what the hell I'm talking about. I'd actually write a script for it. Maybe. Okay, here's the switch room. Yeah, I can't really see much underneath me, though. I'll blame the ice. Just because it is the ice's fault.
Glows with power as you engage the first control lever. But where is the second?
Somewhere in the layers of hell. Nah, it's right over there. At the very least, these levers actually look kind of like they're part of the door. Not really, they look like they're just clipping through it, but later they're completely separate from the door. It's kind of weird. So yeah, basically we're going to be getting about 2,500 experience from this, meaning we need to get another ability point, and pretty damn close to leveling. And the fun thing is, that's on normal, with absolutely no quest repeats as far as I can remember. If I had the first expansion, Menace of the Underdark, on this, I'd be level 3 by now. Because if you Buying the basic version, one of the main items you get is a tome that increases your gained experience at a quest. First time you run it by a rather large 50%, meaning I would have somewhere around 18,000 experience instead of 1,200, or 12,000, damn it. But yeah, it's a pretty big boost. If you got the higher editions, not just the first one. You were, if I remember right, you also got lesser versions. You have your other characters, which were, yeah, they were like 25%. Anyway, on a more immediate note, this is why I kept the flame sword. If I recall correctly, and to be honest, I might not, behind this door is the final boss of the area. Yep. It's a motherfucking demon. Fitting with the area, it's an ice flenser. The reason I kept the sword was because fire damage deals double damage to it. So instead of 1 point, it's dealing 2. Not that big of a boost. But, no, I still killed it. Why did my experience go down? Yeah. I honestly have no freaking idea. I'm just playing Turbine. Well, I got aggression. So, there's that. So I'm almost back up to where I was. Damn it. Why do I have SP? Apparently I have SP for some reason. Anyway, about finished the quest. Fun fact, Darastrix, the name of the mind flayer there, apparently translates to dragon food in the dragon language. This is the one part I'm really looking forward to. Not the actual destruction, but what comes afterwards. This is fun.
The Mind Flayer shrieks as it loses the Mind Seller's power. The dragon reasserts its will and looks very annoyed.
Ah, that's still fun every time I see it. Yep, it's like, you fucked with me, you're gonna die. But yeah, this is the end of Korthos. Thank Christ. Anyway, this is where I get... Yeah, it's sunny now. There's actually decent weather for once. But anyway, this is where I get the second piece of the set, which is an amulet. And this is where things get kind of interesting. Because this is where normally I would have to worry about, what am I losing. But, okay. My current amulet gives me +1 concentration, +1 will save. Anger's Gift gives me a +1 to all saving throws. If I remember right, this gives me a +3 bonus to concentration of the same type as this. So this is made completely irrelevant by the Anger's Gift necklace. And that's without adding in the set bonus. And yeah, that's Korthos. Gonna sell the crap I don't want, which is mostly ranged weapons. And I'm going to cut it off here and head to Stormreach, where I can actually explain stuff, because I have access to the mail system. You'll see what I mean by that next time.